guys, it's Health Coach Karen here, and I have a guest today to have a very casual interview. Her name is Yuko, and do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Yuko, and I'm a yoga instructor and also do all sorts of like fun stuff. And I love talking about like spirituality and like how you can make everything fun and game and all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
Oh, and thank you for coming. And something that you just said right now, like making things fun, I feel like that's a really big component to health that people overlook. Having fun, having joy, having a sense of ease is like something that people tend to overlook, and that's what I want to address when it comes to like the self-aware perfectionist. Is that perfectionists tend to like be really hard on themselves. Like speaking from personal experience, like I've had like these past experiences of being like, I have to eat all the vegetables, like I have to eat salad for lunch, you know, and sort of like it wouldn't even be fun. There would probably be a way of making, you know, healthy eating fun, but the way I made it in my mind was like, I have to do it, it is my duty, and that's it. Didn't deal with unhappiness. But so like what's your take on all that jazz?
I really like the way of like making things fun and less complicated, you know, like of course, like as an Asian people, like we have a lot of expectations for ourselves, you know, what culture expects for us, or family, and also for ourselves. And then growing up, like eating was one of the things that I really struggled with. I am recovering anorexic and slash like mild bulimia at the time. At the time I was really struggled with it. Like I had to eat certain way, and I had to choose certain times before I swallow everything, you know, and like getting on the scale every day, and that was horrifying, but it became an addiction, you know. I had to do it every day. I had to do it at a certain time, and it was not fun, you know. The only time that was fun for me was when the number on the scale was going down. You know?
Oh my god. I have an experience like that. Like I would feel the most happy leaving the gym, which is like kind of counter to like how I experience like fitness now, is like I have fun during, but like I remember having fun, or not fun, but having like a sense of joy of like I accomplished a number, you know? And like I mean I'm in the same boat. Like I guess like I don't know where Orthorexia stands nowadays, but I think like I was pretty like so overly passionate about what were the right foods to eat and what were the right like actions to take in terms of exercise, that I think I was like sort of like orthorexic in a way. But going beyond that, like what have you, I guess, learned like from your experiences? Because I feel like we go through this journey to learn something, and once we learn it, we get to like tell all the special people out there about the things that we've learned.
For me, wow, what have I learned? There are a lot of things that I learned from it, and especially nowadays, like ever since I started doing yoga, and like a lot of things have changed. Like I don't get on the scale anymore. I don't even have a scale. Like I really don't, and I don't need it. And like I have a residual of that habit. Like I want to eat certain things at certain time, or like, you know, like it comes up, and like I just started doing like a food journal. So like I really need to face it, you know. But doing yoga helped me. It is a daily practice, you know. It is a practice. It's not some routine that you can do. And just to be patient with yourself and listen to our body, and if the body needs to sleep, really sleep. You know, that's really important. And another thing that I remember, even from the back in the days, like instead of thinking about what I should eat or what I'm supposed to eat, like it just, like somebody said, like it just eat colorful.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a very practical like piece of advice.
Right?
Eat colorful. Like
I think that it makes sense. Like, let's say you have some green, or like some carrots, or tomatoes, or like have corns and white and like a cheese, or like you can swap it up as long as it's colorful, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and then some way to make it fun.
Yeah. Something that I try to ask is like, what is your favorite natural food, or what is your favorite vegetable, as opposed to saying, because I feel like it's sort of it could be confusing to people when I say like eat what you want to eat, because sometimes they'll think like, oh well, then I'll just eat. I can't do that because I'll just eat burgers and fried chicken
or ice cream.
Or ice cream, you know, like, yeah, exactly. I'll just eat chicken and chocolate all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah, I love chocolate. But I still have a difficult time deciphering it myself.
Right.
Like, I do want to eat this, but I question like my motives as to why, and I think that's what I try to tell my clients, like, well, you're allowed to eat whatever you want to eat, but if you feel a sense of like guilt or shame about it, like explore that and go ahead and ask yourself why.
Right.
So I forgot what my question was for you.
No, you are absolutely right, and it's so scary to actually face that deep, what's hidden beneath it. You know, like
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of the time, a lot of the emotional eating, like I'm still trying to figure it out, and it's something that we don't want to face. You know, that's why we replace it with food, and like over a year, like you forget what was it that caused it to begin with.
Yeah.
You know?
Or it's like it's just buried under like the thought of like, okay, I need to eat like some chocolate right now, as opposed to I need to figure out why I'm feeling these like stressed out emotions.
Right.
Yeah. So like I don't know how to segue that, but I was thinking, like when we were talking about that, I was thinking about what my school talks about. I don't know if you know IIN and like what their teachings are, but like my school, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, they talk about this thing called primary food as opposed to secondary food. Secondary food is the food that comes on a plate, the stuff that we eat, and primary food is like your relationships, your career, the exercises that you choose, and your spirituality. Like when those four things are like at full volume for you, the tendency to think about food as your like source of happiness is like so much lower.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. That was like one of the most like, I don't want to call it a light bulb moment, but it was just like, wow, that's kind of like life-changing for me to think about my career and my relationships.
Right.
What is it? Career, relationships, exercise, and spirituality. Like kind of, I've always like thought those as separate to be, like separate from feeling nurtured. Yeah, because like food is nurturing in one way, or nourishing rather, in one way, and the primary food is also nurturing. Nurturing / nurturing.
Yeah.
Nourishing. But yeah, I thought I thought about that like as we were talking about the stuff that we were talking about earlier.
No, it makes perfect sense. That wow, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna want to look into that. But like really, if you're like spiritually fulfilled, and like not only spiritual in like a category ways, but like if you're fulfilled with your relationship, career, and spirituality and exercise, and then you would want to pick something because you have nothing that you can substitute with whatever that you're eating, or like what's it called, masking it with.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Masking. Yeah, I think that's like part of like our jobs is to like get people to like be courageous enough to like like take off that mask and like reveal whatever is like deeper, and like just look at it straight in the eye and be like, okay, I need to address that, you know, that thing with my career, or like that thing with my relationship. Like those are really difficult.
Yeah, and it could be like a more than just one layer, you know. It could be like a lot of things overlapped, especially like talking about career, like earlier we talked about my audition, and like, you know, like, and like a whole thing about like not getting audition, not getting the book, and like not booking anything, and after that then that goes into like maybe I'm not good enough, you know, and like whole the whole layer and the like it's overwhelming. You know?
Oh, like the last time that we talked, I'd love for you to share the story that like you started this cabaret, and it kind of led to like one thing to another good thing to another great thing.
All right, great. So I ever since I started teaching yoga and went on a more holistic journey, like before all of that happened, I was pursuing my career in Broadway, but like going into this journey, and it kind of allowed me or led me into the place like maybe I don't need to focus on that right now. But I love singing, and like my friend and I started producing Cabaret show one day, and
so cool.
It was so much fun, you know, because I would let go of the attachment of like I have to book this job or else I'm not gonna do anything that I want to do, you know. So I didn't have any expectations for it, and so the whole cabaret I was just able to have fun and sing the favorite song of mine with my best friend, and that was beautiful. And then after that person, like it was one of my boss for the place I teach yoga, and she showed up, and she knows people in the industry, and she pulled some string and she got me an audition for a show that was my dream show. So it was really cool. And yeah, they just had an audition, and they asked me to stay for the dance call too. And who knows, maybe something happened, maybe nothing happened, but the fact that I was able to let go of the attachment and for my dream show, like the reason that I moved to New York for, and allow myself to have fun and receive all the greatest love and support, and really like have fun in that moment, and like taking the support and allow myself to lean back. That was the greatest lesson. It's beyond like the audition or beyond booking this job. It was more than that. You know? And, like now that looking back and all these years of being tunnel vision and like I had to be on this show, I had to be in this character, otherwise I'm gonna die. No, not to that extent, but like I was that desperate. And not having that desperation or like attachment or like back then I didn't even think it as an attachment. Like it was like my not resilience, but I would determine to be that point. You know, like it was my goal. I had my goal set, clear vision, and if this is what I want, I'm gonna go get it, and I'm not gonna take no for an answer. You know, like I was determined. You know, and and that was also really like choking me. Like I can only say that now. Like I wouldn't have been able to say that before. You know, but now that I see it, it's like that was really it tearing me apart. You know, because that was the only thing that proved me that I did something, or like if I have this, then I could show it to other people that I am something. You know, I did the right thing. You know, all these things. Like, but now that I look back, like, no, it's not this only thing. This is not the only thing. And you don't have to prove anything.
Oh man,
right?
I love that story. That it's just like the fact that you kind of like let go, not even let go, you just like loosened your grip.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's like you still had like that dream there, but it wasn't like in this dogged determination type of way, like I have to, like desperate almost, like I have to get this audition. Like the fact that you went from that sort of energy to the energy of like, let's just have fun and do a cabaret, and like I'll do it with my best friend, and like we're gonna sing our favorite songs. Right. Yeah, like I think that energy is exactly the thing that I like. That's like my dream, is to have like all my clients like go from like this dogged determination to like, let's just have fun and see where it goes. Sort of still determined, but in a lighthearted sort of way, like in a way that's like kind of, it pulls you as opposed to you pushing yourself.
Right, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, like I felt like your dream of just like having fun and doing cabaret was like easy, fun, and simple, and what were the other things that I usually try to say? Joyful. Yeah, you exemplified like this joyfulness, and like that's something that I feel like is a great takeaway from your story, and something that I like personally like have learned from you is that like, oh, just go about it in a joyful way. And you inspired me to be like, I had this idea of doing like a Sunday fun day, or what did I call it? A fun day Sunday videos. So I started doing that. And interestingly, I got the most comments out of that.
Really? That's amazing. Congrats.
Thank you. Like, it's so funny how like I'll plan and like outline like these videos and like, do my best to like make them like really high quality, like use like my good camera and like have like headers and stuff, and, like, do, like a title and like end cards,
right?
And like the Sunday Fun Day video, it's like it's not even like there's nothing like at all like that. It's like not even like straight on. Like
there you go, right on.
Yeah, and like I got the most like comments and feedback out of it, and like people liked it. Yeah, so I feel like there's like an energy and having fun, and energy and having like joy, and just doing like what pulls you really. So I don't know, I love that story about you, because you got the thing that you wanted, the audition, by just like putting yourself out there and also not expecting anything out of it. Like, I think that's like the most beautiful part of it, is that like you didn't expect anything, and then you ended just got it right then and there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was really like I'm still like blown away by this experience. Like only because this happened right now I can understand all this. Like if I didn't go through all this time of like being like so attached to it, and like or like going through all this emotion of like, why am I not getting it, or like going through all this like a yoga journey and all that. Now because of all these things, now I can process it in this like a way. But if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have understand, let alone this would have happened, So everything happened for a reason,
Exactly.
And that's pretty cool. Like and again, also like if you don't look back, you don't know how far you've come.
Ooh, beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so cool, and like we especially for like a perfectionist, we tend to look just forward and like we're gonna go, and it's important to have that drive, but at the same time it's so important to take a moment and say, let's breathe. Inhale, like intentionally breathe, like really, and exhale, and like a look back and like, okay, this is how far I've come. Wow, I'm doing okay. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm doing great, It doesn't have to be. Just the fact that you are not where you were before, and that alone is already great.
I love that. I remember like hearing this like comedy routine about like how this guy was like, it adds up, man, like you better I forget the comedy routine, but it said he said something like, it only adds up if you add it up. And that was like the punchline of it's like that was the punchline. It was like meant to be like, don't buy this and don't buy that, like don't buy a $15 like DVD, and it was kind of like in this like negative sort of like spectrum, and the guy like had a comeback of like, it only adds up if you add it up. But the way I took it is that if you take like your past accomplishments as like you invested this into yourself, and you invested this thing into yourself, and you invested this little thing into yourself, it all adds up. And
that's good.
That's what
that's good. Yeah.
Thanks. But the thing is that with perfectionists is that they don't add it up. They're just like, oh yeah, I did that one thing, and like now I'm eating healthy, but I have to like get on top of my exercise routine. And it's like,
oh my god, like, yeah, so right. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, it's like I think about like the people who have accomplished so much with their diet, but they like kind of dismiss it almost right away, and like sort of internally finger wag themselves for like not doing an exercise routine when they told themselves that they would do it like yesterday. But now it's like, you didn't add it up. You didn't add up like So we got cut off because we just can talk on forever. But I already forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, like we were just talking about perfectionism and add up all the accomplishments that you've done in the past and be grateful for it. We talked about like a few tips, like being grateful for all the past accomplishments that you've done for yourself. And do you have any like bits of parting advice for any self-aware perfectionists out there?
The part of me would say like, oh, I want to say the thing that I said before.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, honestly.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I would say, really, it takes practice. If you're like perfectionist or self-aware perfectionist, like it really show up as like a straight A student to work on yourself every day. You know, like it doesn't mean like you have to do a certain things at a certain time or you have to follow the schedule, but like show up for yourself and get A on showing up.
Yeah, that's good. Something that I remember that you said before the camera had shut off was that like we tend to be so much in our heads,
Right.
and like less so inclined to like listen to like what's in our hearts. And I felt that was like really wise advice, is to like take note of when you're like really being kind of overly cognitive about like what it is you want to accomplish, what it is that you have accomplished, and like just doing check marks like on a list. And instead of doing that, like take it from your brain and like somehow like get all those thoughts and like bring it down to like your heart space and like feel it out. Yeah, because like when you were talking about like being in your head so much more than being in your heart, like that made a lot of sense to me.
Right.
I wish we like kept that, but you know,
it happened for a reason.
It totally did, so that we could talk about this right now.
Yeah, exactly. See, everything is good. Everything is good.
Yeah. So, yep. Anything else?
No, you take it away.
Okay, so if you're a self-aware perfectionist and you find yourself wanting to up-level your health, transform your body and do it in a fun, easy, maybe not easy, but with a sense of fun, with a sense of ease, a sense of joy, that's what I make my job to be. So if you're looking for coaching for that, get at me at Karensagun@gmail.com or in any of the various ways that you can contact me in the description below. So thank you so much, Yuko. I really appreciate it. And also, is there anything that you want to promote for yourself? I know you have like your own YouTube thing.
Thank you.
I meant to like say that earlier and I forgot. I apologize.
No, thank you. Nobody saw that before, so it's good. Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel and it's Love Live Life, and it stands for Love and Live Your Life Now. And I'm doing this campaign called I Am Me Project. It's to celebrate your authenticity and being true to who you are and connecting people with an authenticity. So check that out. And and my website is yukoislovelivelife.com. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Yay! Thank you so much. And I would want to add that being authentic is a recipe for breaking the pattern of perfectionism. Like being authentic and using your authentic voice and just having the courage to be true to yourself. And once you're allowed to be true to yourself, you can be true to the rest of the world, and you don't have to be perfect anymore. And in fact, that like just ceases to be a thing.
Right.
So I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, bye guys. Have a great day.